Again, welcome to Hutchinson Elementary's GoTeam meeting. The time is 5:11. I'm pleased to call this meeting to order. Our first order of business is to call roll. The secretary will now take the roll.
Present, I have Principal Melissa St. Joy, Vice Co-Chair Courtney Manning, Ms. Atkinson, and Ms. Bria Lundy.
All right. This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Is there a quorum present, Ms. Lundy?
There's not.
Okay, so no quorum is present, but I believe we're okay because we are not voting. All right, so now our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This is provided to you and copies are here. Please take a moment to review. Are there any changes to the agenda? May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
All right, and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Okay, all right, very good. We will review and approve the meeting minutes from the previous meeting. The minutes have been provided to you. Are there any corrections? If there are no further corrections, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
I motion to approve the previous meeting minutes.
All right, is there
I second it.
Okay, great. All right, our first action item is to review and update the strategic plan, but we've already done that, so we're going to move straight to our discussion items. We will now, for the next few meetings, we will be focusing on creating a budget for the next school year, which aligns with our strategic plan and addresses our strategic priorities. We need to ensure our meeting schedule will permit us to complete the budget and aligns with the district's timeline. We need to have a draft budget completed prior to our principal staffing conference, which is sometime between February 21st and the 28th. Then we will need to have a meeting after the staffing conference and before Friday, March 17th for the final budget approval. Principal St. Joy, when is the school staffing conference scheduled to take place?
February 23rd, I believe.
Thank you for that information. We will now take a minute to look at our meeting schedule and determine if we can meet the expectation and timeline. Does anybody have the dates, the meeting dates?
I believe the next meeting is the 16th of February.
Okay, 16th of February. Okay, sorry, let me find it. I think I lost my place. Okay, so are there any changes? Do we want to make any changes to the meeting calendar? Do we want to keep it at the 16th of February, the next meeting? Okay.
That should work.
That should work. Okay. So may I have a motion to adopt this action item?
A motion to adopt the action item.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. Let's see. We will now move to our next item, the budget allocation presentation.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is our budget development process that we'll be going through over the next couple of weeks. The norms is that this meeting of the GoTeam, only members of the GoTeam may participate in the discussion. Public members can observe, but they can't participate in the budget discussion. We invite and welcome contributions from every member to listen. We will follow the agenda as noticed publicly and stay on task. We will respect ideas and assume good intention. So the GoTeam budget development process is the data review, the strategic plan review, but budget parameters, and then it will be the budget choices. So right now we're actually on the parameters, and then we'll be going to the choices within the next meeting. So with the process, we're on step 3. Which is the initial discussion of the allocation. We did one fall semester, which was reviewing and updating the strategic plan. I went to a budget training workshop last week. Right now, I'm going to share the allocations with you. The next meeting will be as we review through the month of February. I will also discuss it with my associate superintendent. I will go through the process. GoTeam will give feedback. We have our meeting scheduled for the 16th, but if we have questions on the 16th that need to be addressed, we'll probably have to stamp another meeting. I will go to the staffing conference in late February, and then I'll come back to the GoTeam for approval of the final budget based on what I submit to staffing. So during this budget allocation meeting, I'm sorry, I keep moving your faces over. The first GoTeam meeting is when the principal will provide the overview of the budget. Why the meeting provides an opportunity for the principal and the GoTeam to ensure alignment with the school's strategic priorities. And this is right now, we're still on schedule because it's the end of January, early February. So my role in the process as principal is to design a budget and propose operational changes that can raise student achievement. I'll flesh out the strategies and implement and manage them at the school level. I'll focus on the day-to-day operations, serve as an expert on the school, and hire quality instructional support. The role of the GoTeam is to focus on the big picture, position, and resources, not necessarily the individual people. Ensure that the budget is aligned to the school's mission and vision, and that the resources that are allocated support the key strategic priorities. So this is our strategic plan that we have been working with and that we flushed out at the end of last semester. And these are how we rank the priorities. Number one being improving the percentage of students achieving proficient and distinguished on the Georgia milestones, build teacher capacity in core content areas, particularly math, ELA, science, and STEM education, reduce barriers to school attendance and decrease chronic absenteeism, recommend high-quality staff for vacant positions that may arise, full implementation of our district interventions, support of social emotional learning, as well as of the staff through PBIS and the BASC assessment. And our lower priority is the STEM, implementation of STEM engineering and designs, because we're working on our certification by 2025, but we do get district support there. So right now I've written a rationale for all the priorities that we have. So for the first priority, we want to increase our proficiency, ensure that students are receiving maximum opportunities for achievement and remediation daily, build teacher capacities, creating environments where teachers can continue to build capacity to impact students, reduce barriers in school attendance. This continues to be a need for our students, but we need to look closely on how to maximize our budget to make this work. Recommendation of high quality staff for positions. Highly qualified teachers support our daily instruction at Hutchinson. Full implementation of the district intervention initiatives. Dedicated time that's already built into our schedule for intervention and or enrichment. Support social emotional learning, behavior, mental health through PBIS and BASC assessment. Addressing various behavioral needs of students to create a safe learning environment, and implement STEM engineering and design program model that leads to obtaining STEM certification by 2025 from the Georgia Department of Education. And we're just supporting those instructional practices and strategies for that certification for our school. So discussion of the budget choices. So an executive summary of what we have going on with our budget. This budget represents an investment and plan to our schools, students, employees, community as a whole. The budget recommendations will be tied directly to the school's strategic vision and direction. The proposed budget for general operations is $4,577,980. The investment plan for fiscal year 24 accommodates a student population of projected at 249 students, which is a decrease of $308,299 from F year 23. So this is what has been allocated to us from the district. Our enrollment is projected to drop by 10, which is where that $300,000 and change deficit is coming from. And just A point of clarification, it's not just the 10 students. You have designations with your special ed, your gifted, your ESOL population, poverty rates, all that goes into the numbers that you see here. So per pupil, it's $4,582. These are the anticipations of the students that we're getting per grade level. I did seek out clarification from the budget department how they got these numbers, and basically they've tracked the birth rates in the community, apartment complexes going up, the trends with people moving in and out, and that's where they get these numbers from. We do get a certain dollar amount for our Title I, which is the poverty, our free and reduced lunch. We have our EIP students, 78 students qualified there, so that's another funding source. Right now, we have 29 special education students. We have 5 gifted students, and there's gifted supplement as well. We have 27 ELL, and these, excuse me, not now, but anticipation for next year. We have a supplement for being a smaller school, and we don't have these other 2 supplements. And that SSF allocation is a student success factor, which is kind of what goes into getting that $4 million number. Other school allocations that we have. For our signature program, we have $209,000 and change allocated to that. We are not a turnaround school. We are a Title I school. So we have a dollar amount added to that. There is a Title I holdback. That is holdback just in case our numbers tip either way. They take from that amount first as opposed to this number that we have. All schools are allotted $6,000 for our family engagement. So like our APTT night, that's how we pay for it. Field trips and transportation, the CEP trips that are gone for, district stipends for grade level chairs, and our FTE allotments, which is all the numbers that go into that $4,577,980. In addition, this is our last year of CARES funding. And in addition to the general fund allocation, our school has been allotted CARES funding that must be used to supplement implementation of school-based intervention block and other school-based needs that occurred during the COVID pandemic. When support is needed to implement our school-based intervention block, and we have some flexibility of what we can do with that CARES funding. But again, keeping in mind that this funding does end, this is last year we will have these funds. And last year we used it to supplement for positions. So as we have our budget discussions, if we use it for any positions, we do have to inform the people that it is now year to year because the funding source won't be there. It's not a problem if our enrollment goes up and then you're in the positive, but right now, this is something that we can use to supplement either resources, human assets, and things of that nature. So technology we can use it for. We can use it for mental and physical health, supplemental learning, professional development, at-risk student populations, and continuity of core staff, and which is basically what we used it for last year, continuity of core staff and supplementing some of our supplies. So what's next? Ken, we're in our allocation meeting. I will have a one-on-one in February to discuss this with my boss, cluster planning sessions. Ms. Akithi and I attend cluster meetings to discuss all things about all GoTeams, program manager discussions and approval, GoTeam feedback meetings, and that will be the 16th before that staffing conference, so that meeting will be a little longer. And the HR staffing conferences will be at the end of the month. In March, we'll do a final approval on this budget. Any questions?
All right, I think we're good. Thank you, Principal St. Joy, for this information. I'm sure that after we've had an opportunity to review this again, we might have some additional questions for the budget feedback meeting.
Yep.
All right, we will now move on to information items. First is the principal's report. So you're up again.
Here I go. All right. So my report, it is now February. We are entering, or well, tomorrow is February. We're coming off the longest month of the year, the first one. We have sent out these calendars with our students of all the activities we'll be having this month. We will have National Counselors Week to celebrate our school counselor, Dr. Rao. Please, please, please celebrate her. She does above and beyond her duties. So there's a week there to celebrate her rather. There is College and Career Motivation and Readiness Week, and you'll start to see evidence of that in our corridor and our building. We've encompassed not only the college readiness, but also Black History Month, which we'll be celebrating this month. We'll have specific celebrations on February 3rd, February 9th, February 16th, and February 28th. We also have a special author coming to see our 4th and 5th grade girls on February 3rd, and all kinds of activities. February 20th is a teacher learning day, and the rest of that week is fall break. Everybody take your good break. And this is just more in detail of some of the things happening during our Black History Month, which is celebrating excellence linked together and forever. It's already been planned, those dress up days. There's also unique announcements, music, and videos that will be shared throughout the week that have been carefully planned for our students to learn and celebrate from. We just came off our second APTT night. There were 58 parents in attendance. Yay. What was particularly most exciting to me, there were several parents. I know we have special dates for our quality work boards to go up, and it is a lot for those teachers to get those work up. But I literally have at least 7 pictures that I took of parents reading their child's work, looking at the rubric, and looking at the feedback. And I think that's just another way to engage them in the learning process. And we just have pictures of whole families coming out. And I just anticipate this structure as a continued great way to get our parents in, because when you really think about our population, that was a 4th that came in. So that's exciting. And a lot of them, I know particularly in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, were very focused on what their next steps were leading up to not just the MAP assessment, but their kids getting prepared for Georgia milestones. And our next GoTeam meeting is the 16th at 5 p.m. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Principal St. Joy. As a teacher here at Hutchinson, I can attest to all those wonderful things that are going on here. So we appreciate you. We remind all our, we will now hear about additional information items. We remind all GoTeam members to complete their budget training on the Ellis platform. If you need assistance with the platform, contact the GoTeam office. Does anyone have any additional announcements? All right, we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, and the meeting is adjourned.